Hello, are we live? I think we're live.
Are we live? Somebody tell us. We're live. We got the thumbs up.
All
Two
right,
thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Excellent. It's still not showing for me, but hopefully you guys can see us.
Is it on Quilting Deals page? Randy?
Yes, it is. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just wait. But welcome, everyone. I am your host, Misty Doan. It's another fabulous Tuesday. And Jenny
I'm here.
is here. We haven't had a time to sit and chat with you guys.
It's been a minute since we've done a Q&A, haven't
Exactly.
it?
Yeah.
I love that. It's been a minute.
I
We
agree.
used to say it's been a while, but now the modern way is it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
I'm so modern these days, you know.
The most modern.
The most modern. Thoroughly modern Jenny.
Let me try and see
I just dated myself by quoting that old play.
You know, I like that
That's all
play.
right. Thoroughly modern Millie.
That's
Bet
right.
you guys remember that.
I'm going to look on
YouTube
and see if I can
So what
see
we're
it.
doing today is we're having a Q&A.
Yeah.
Because we have lots of things to talk about, and you probably have lots of things you want to know about. So that's what Misty is hunting for, the page where we can see all of you, all your names and all your questions come up, because she's just going to
read those out
feed
loud.
things to me.
Oh, thank you, Caleb. Caleb's is working.
Caleb's is working.
Excellent. Now I've got both. This is
okay.
great. So hello, everyone. Susie says hello from Muggy, Florida. It's really muggy
It's muggy here too. So like this last night, Ron walks outside to do something, and it's like, we were just getting ready for bed, so he's locking up and doing all the stuff. And it's like 10:30, and he walks outside, and he's like, Jenny, come out here. And I'm like, what is going on? And I walk out there, and he goes, it's horrible out here. And I'm like, why would you
tell me that?
Tell me this? It was like almost 90 at night.
That's how I felt this morning. I got up, it was like 6:30 to let the dog out, and it was already like so
I know.
warm.
I got up to walk, and then I was like, no. I'm pretty sure if it's already almost 90 at 6:30 in the morning, I think it was like 85.
Yeah.
I just didn't need to walk 3 miles. So this is the first day I haven't walked 3 miles in a long time. But so I went back to bed and slept another hour. It was like
nice.
amazing.
Sometimes we just need that. So.
Yeah, we do.
So like we said, we are here to take your questions. So be sure to comment those either on YouTube or Facebook.
Looks like we have a lot of things happening here.
Yeah, lots of people saying hello. Christina says hi from hot Texas. Hello from Rhode Island.
I bet there's a lot of other places, honestly, that are hotter than we are.
Probably. I'm sure that's
Whenever
true.
the Texas people come and I meet them, they say, I'm from Texas. And I'm like, well, enjoy the cool weather. And it'll be like 98 here. But I'm always like, enjoy the cool weather here in Missouri.
It's true.
Yeah.
I know that's how I feel. I know lots of people love Arizona, and it is beautiful in its own right, but it is so hot.
It's a different hot, though. It's a dry heat.
People say that. It's so hot.
It is hot. So I lived there for a while when I was very first married, and it is a completely different kind of landscape. And I'm from the coast. I'm from Monterey area in California, and so to go to Arizona, it was just a completely different. And like little kids would get burned if they went on the slide or something like that. You know, I mean, there was a lot of weird things that happened out there because of the heat. And then also there were sandstorms.
Oh.
Which is like
yeah, you hear about that.
a big wind that's painful, and you don't want to be in it,
No.
you know. And so
That would be awful.
you know, you could see them coming in the distance. You know, it really was every place you live is interesting, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one of my favorite things about traveling is you get to see all the different things.
Well, I did see one question pop up here, and it was...
Just one, and you get an answer.
We have lots of wonderful hellos still. But the first question I saw was, how many long arm machines do we have?
Well, we have a few now.
A lot, yeah.
So I think we have close to 30,
I think
honestly.
so, too.
And is that right, Jerry? Do you know?
That's right.
Okay, so right about 30, because we just recently bought about 6 more. I think we were at like 20, 24, 25, and we bought about 6 more. We've, so we've also opened an additional facility to house our long arms, so we are ready for whatever you want to send us.
So many quilts,
Yeah.
which is so exciting.
And what's cool about that still is that I have a lot of friends who long arm in their homes.
Yeah.
And their business has never gone down.
No.
So quilting is just more alive and vibrant forever. There's always enough for everybody, you know. And if you have a local long armer, use her. But if maybe we have a pattern she doesn't. Maybe you need it quicker than she can do it, because a lot of the local ones, like one of the reasons I wanted to long arm to begin with in the very, very beginning when we bought that first long arm, the reason we did that was because the long armers around us were all backed up a year.
Right.
And so I'm like, all right, there's room for another long armor in this area, and that's all we thought we were going to do, of course. And things have changed a little bit for Missouri Star.
Yeah.
But the long arming business is just doing well. People are.
It is. It's really exciting.
And always remember, if somebody opens up a long arm near you, don't ever feel threatened by that if they open up a quilt shop, because when the water rises, all the boats float.
That's exactly
right. There's always enough for everybody. It's not a competition. It's just.
It's the abundance mindset, right?
It is.
How many quilts do you make a year?
So I make at least one a week, and sometimes 2 or 3, depending upon, what I'm working on, or who has a birthday, or, if it's easy and I can get it done. Sewing is my go-to, so it's what I do when I'm happy, mad, sad, anxious, whatever. So we know I make at least one a week for the tutorials, so that's 52 a year, and then I'm probably making something else as well, because I'm generally working on tutorials ahead, as well as
I feel like you probably make about 8 a month. That combining tutorials and personal.
I would guess.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot. She makes a lot.
I'm a little embarrassed right now.
Why are you embarrassed? It's amazing.
I know, but it just feels so. Kind of show-offy, and I don't do it for that. I do it because that's what I love to do. It's what I choose to spend my time on. I guess I should say.
And I don't make as many full-size quilts. I make a lot of smaller projects, but I would say I probably still make. Well, I make at least one a month because of triple play. Mm-hmm. And then, so I make 25 or 30, I'd say, full-size quilts a year. So I got a long way to go.
You can do it. Well, and the other thing is, it's my job. So I'm not trying to fit my quilting in.
Right.
I literally come, and if you sewed, 9 to 5 every day of your life, you'd get, everybody would get, that's what they get done. But most people have a job, they have a house. See, I have a home, but I have this husband who does all the things. I come home and he's got this lovely dinner.
He's pretty handy.
He's pretty handy.
He is pretty handy.
So I get to do that.
All right, so let's see other questions.
Now we have a few.
Yeah.
Now she just has to decide.
Bonita wants to know, what's the difference between a sit-down long arm and a standing one?
It's just this. You can just either stand and do it, or you can sit and do it. There's really no difference. It's just if you like a chair or not.
Just a method.
So the long arms, when they come and set them up, they generally set them up to your height. So, if you buy one secondhand, you can change the settings and things like that. So it's to your height. But you really kind of have to decide if you want to stand or sit, And I just generally did a little of both. I have a bar stool, that's the height I like, and so, I kind of drag that along with me, but a lot of times I just stand. But if you're doing it as a job like our people are, you don't really stand all day.
Yeah.
So there's no I don't know that there's an actual sitting and standing long arm. It's not like a sitting desk and a standing desk, but it's just they're set at different heights for your height, and you consider stand as you want.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Kathleen wants to know, how is Jake? And I am happy to answer that. He is wonderful.
Okay, wait. He's not really.
That's true.
This weekend, I got a new bedroom set, and he and Josh came over to help me move it. And literally, I think the dresser itself weighed 500 pounds.
Yeah, he said he thinks it's heavier than our piano.
It was made by the Amish, so everything's very well done. So he hurt his back a little bit, but then he went to the chiropractor, so he's fine.
He's doing great.
But and he's doing a lot of yard work and gardening. He loves that stuff.
We're building some houses on the side.
He does he has a whole. He just has a natural talent for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the homes he's building 2 homes here in Hamilton, and then he's flipping another home.
Yep.
And it's going to be, you guys might need to know about this.
Yeah.
So this house we got to flip, and we buy them here in Hamilton. You can buy them pretty cheap because they are not even worth really probably what they're being sold for.
They need a lot of love.
A lot of love. But we don't mind that. We're hard workers. And so this one house, so the 2 houses he's buying, he's probably going to sell, right?
Yep.
Okay, so those are probably just going to be for sale. And they're 3-bedroom houses, beautiful. He hand-hews the beams. He does all the things. I mean, they are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And but this house that it's been demoed, but it hasn't been started fixing up yet. But it's going to be a retreat house.
We're very excited.
So you guys have to watch for this. We think it'll sleep like 12 people or something.
Easily. It'll comfortably sleep 12. So it'll be 5 bedrooms.
We have 2 big rooms downstairs.
Yeah, and there'll be 2 big sewing areas downstairs, and then another hangout lounge area upstairs.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's going to be so great.
It's going to be so cool. So that's not even anywhere near completed.
No.
Probably a good, year or so.
I would say so. I'm hoping 9 months.
Yeah.
So early next spring.
She's very optimistic.
I think it'll happen.
And with COVID, you don't know what you can get.
It's
even.
True.
You know, it's like, can we get a 2x4? Maybe.
It's true. So. All right, let's see.
Jake is
Other
good.
questions. Jake is great. Okay, will MSQC ever think about possibly opening locations in other states like sunny California?
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be lovely? So we're not there yet. We're still working on a few more buildings in our town that we had hoped to have finished during the year we were closed, but we couldn't get materials to do it.
That's true.
So we're still working on that, and we'll see what happens. You know, I would love to. This is my dream. This is, you know, it's like Jenny's idea, you know, and so the way I would love to do it is do the same thing we did here, like go into rural Alabama and buy a little town, you know, a little town that's falling down, build it back up and do MSQC South and MSQC North and East and West, you know. I would love to see that, you know, MSQC England.
Oh, yeah.
MSQC Australia, you know, wouldn't that not be fun to like take a little town and put all the little shops in there and bring a town back to life and populate it and, you know, make the streets bustle again? That's my favorite part about here in Hamilton.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's some of the magic of Missouri Star is if you've been on this journey with us for a while, to see where Hamilton started and where it is now is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and you know we started in that one little shop.
Yep, exactly.
That I painted, and then Sarah came in and said, nope, it's not happy
wrong
enough.
color.
Paint it again. I painted it again.
That's exactly right. All right, let's see. Julie wants to know if a person should sew at a certain time of day.
Oh, I have no idea. So, actually, wait, I do have a little bit of opinion about that because I sew at the dining room table, and while I have an overhead light, all of a sudden I'll say to Ron, I can barely see what I'm sewing on, so I'll stop then. If I make a mistake 3 times, I stop sewing. If the same mistake 3 times, I stop sewing. I don't allow myself to get frustrated at my machine when I'm like to the point where it's like, oh, I did it again. I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know.
Yeah.
So probably that would happen for me afternoonish and eveningish. So about 3 in the afternoon, I'm literally like, you know, I'm kind of falling over. And and evening time, when evening time comes, you know, I am kind of a late nighter. But if I can't see good, so Ron has a light that he actually bought at a quilt festival that he uses for working in his shop, and he brought that into me one time because it was so dark and I needed more light, so he brought that in for me. He has never gotten it back. It now lives in my studio, because sometimes if I'm sewing at night in the studio, you know, I'll be like, why? This is so hard. And then I hit the light and I'm like, oh, there we go. That's perfect.
Well, and like today, our studio is usually so bright, but because it's a little more overcast, we're like, why is it so dark in here?
Yeah.
So sometimes that can
really
really
A lot of that is
affect
coming
things.
from the fires.
I know.
Which everybody, that's so scary.
I
The
hope
fire
you're
thing
all
is so scary.
doing well.
Yeah.
That is scary. All right. Oh, Deborah says, hello guys, have you ever thought about offering your patterns as PDFs as well for easy download? We do.
We do.
We have PDFs.
Done. Check.
Yeah, so
Done.
you can get our patterns as PDFs if you don't want to have the paper.
I know they are working on with Block Magazine.
Yeah.
They have some of that can be downloaded, but they are working on this super amazing new, just really a cool setup for Block Magazine. So go ahead and, you know, watch for that because
yes. And
we'll have a block party, probably not this month, but next month when the block comes out, we'll have a block party, and maybe we'll be ahead enough that we can talk about that a little more. Plus, I don't know very much about computer details, so.
That's true.
And I'm not even sure I know what PDF means. What does it mean?
See? I don't know.
Pretty
something
pretty darn
fantastic.
Fun.
Yes.
Pretty darn fun. We're going to have a pretty darn fun pattern for you.
That's right. Okay, let's see.
Do you know what it means?
It's portable document format.
Oh,
I
Jerry.
never knew that.
Portable document
Thank
format.
you, Jerry. Portable document format.
Now we all know.
I'll never remember it. I think pretty darn fun sounds better.
Yeah, you know, I agree. Okay, let's see. Do you have a quilting pattern that you quilt more often than not? So I'm thinking they mean the stitching pattern.
Oh, the stitching pattern on my quilts? I do love sticky buns.
Yeah.
Sticky buns is one of my favorite. And twirly, curly flowers or swirly, curly.
One of those.
Curly, swirly, twirly flowers.
Yes.
I always, it's that same round thing, and then it goes into a blossom.
Yeah, a little flower. It's
and
cute. I love
and
that
there
one.
is a daisy one. I don't use it very often, but my friend Cherry just had a quilted in that, And it's so cute.
Yes,
it's so
darling.
dang cute. So what is this one?
This is...
Oh, this is Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few that we use often, you know,
We
and because we just know we just know they're going to turn out. Yeah.
It's true. All right. Did Ron? Oh, okay. We have a lot of questions about your book now, which we were hoping we would get some of those questions.
I have a book.
Yes, it's so exciting.
It's so exciting and terrifying in the same sentence. You know,
it's
like
best.
Honestly, it was such a journey to write it. It's so humbling to put your whole life out for people to see.
Yeah.
It is. I was a little emotional. I'm always a little emotional about it, just because there's hard stuff in there, and there's hard stuff that I went through, and it's really the story of my life. I mean, it's not a complete. You know, it's not every single tiny detail, but it's definitely chronologically written from.
Well, and I think it's a lot more than people have.
It's not the stories in block.
No,
that's for sure.
Well, and you're a fairly open book, and so I think for a lot of people, they feel like they know you really well.
Yes.
But there's a lot more that you'll get to know.
Well, there's reasons why I am the way I am,
Yeah.
and I think that's what came out in the book is those other relationships and other things that happened and things that we don't just regularly talk about, you know. And so, yes. So actually, the book is available. It's available on a bunch of sites right now.
Yeah.
If you buy it on Amazon right now, then it counts toward the bestseller list.
Right. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of those major retailers.
FYI, I don't know if this is still true, but the other day I was ahead of Jeff Bezos in the business section.
That's exciting.
I know. I'm like, I was just like, ooh, you know. So that was kind of fun. But they have, I think for a couple of weeks they want you to buy from Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
But also then we will be selling them here at Missouri Star. The real book releases October 19th.
Yes.
I was going to say I usually don't remember a date like that, but that's the day before my mom's birthday. And so for some reason that's sticking with me. I can remember that.
Yeah.
So it released as a hard book then. We're going to do all sorts of promotions with it, and, you know, of course, I'll sign whatever copy you bring to me, and I'm going to sign some that we're going to use promotionally, you know, to send out. There's going to be other things that are going to be available, like I think, Jerry, don't we get if they order a book, they get some machine quilting percentage off?
They get 20% off machine quilting if you order right now. So that's for pre-orders, right? So if you pre-order the book, so if you order it today, and there's a link in the description where you can go and check that out.
Is that on Amazon too?
Yep.
Or just us?
Doesn't matter where you
Doesn't matter where you get it.
Yep. And if you go right on our homepage, there is a banner that will talk about Jenny's book, and it will give you all the details on how to redeem that 20% off and all the different places you can buy it.
And that banner might be up on their screen, is it? Is the book banner on the screen?
A picture of the book is up right now. So that you can see what the cover looks like, and that's what you're looking for. It's called How to Stitch an American Dream.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Exciting.
It's pretty amazing what's happened to me in my lifetime. Honestly, it's not something, people ask me all the time, did you ever expect, and I'm like, never. Not for 1 minute did I. And, you think about things like, first of all, who gets famous for sewing?
Right.
Sewing. I'm a singer. I can sing. I can whistle really good. Somebody might find my whistling,
delightful.
But it's like sewing, and so, but I don't know. It's one of those creative things where it's we all create differently, and as long as you're following your heart and your passions, good things happen. And
absolutely.
For me, this is really a sweet time. Really sweet time, and honestly, to have this year.
Yeah.
Of where
you could actually work on it.
It actually kind of all fell into place. It's been really an interesting couple of years. So I don't know.
It was pretty amazing to watch behind the scenes, and so I just have to say, and I've already told her this, but I'm so proud of you.
And that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Anyway, sorry.
She loves me.
I do. She's worked really hard, and it's amazing. And I had the privilege to read it before, and it's just awesome. And I can't wait for you guys to read it and know more of the Jenny that we know. It's pretty special. So, good things. And let's get back to it so I don't start crying more. Let's see. So, people want to know, will there be an audiobook?
There will be an audiobook.
Yes.
So, I talked about this on All Stars page the other day, but Misty's dad, who's BJ, and if you've been to Birthday Bash or anything, he's always the director of all the vocal things out there talking, and that's Misty's dad. Well, he used to be a DJ, so he has all these kinds of equipment. So I said to him, BJ, do you have any way for me, like a sound studio sort of thing? And he's like, well, yes, I do. So he's actually Ron has a little one-room office that he occasionally uses in my studio. So we're kind of turning that into a sound studio, and I'm going to read my own audio book. Yes. So that will actually be really cool. There will be an audio version, because I know a lot of us, including me and Misty, we listen to audio books all the time. And when we're sewing, that's a great thing to have on. And so it will be on Audible, and I will be reading it. So I'm super excited about that.
And so that audio version will release at the same time, October 19th.
So one of the funny things about that is, the publisher is like, well, we need your mom to read into a microphone to see if we want her to read the audio book, And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that she has like a lot of tutorials.
You could go check it out.
And so the guy's like, oh yeah, it turns out your mom already talks online. I do talk a little bit.
That's true, just a bit.
No. Just a bit.
Well, so that's so exciting. If you guys have any other questions about the book, be sure to comment, and we will see any other questions we have coming through. If we order the book from your website, will it be autographed?
It can be.
It can be.
It can be, sure. And maybe there's a way for, I don't know, I think everybody would want them autographed. So, I don't know. I don't mind doing that, Jerry. Okay. I've got my Sharpie.
I'm thinking about the one time that you had to go to the chiropractor and they didn't believe you.
Yes. I went to the doctor and I'm like, I need something in my shoulder. It hurts so bad. I can't move it. And he's like, well, what do you do all the time? And I said, well, I sign a lot of autographs. And he's writing on his desk, and he looks up at me like this, and he goes, whatever. He thinks I'm joking. I'm like, no, I really do.
It's true.
And so he's like, well, why don't you use a Sharpie? All the big stars use a Sharpie. So literally I started using a Sharpie, and because you're not squeezing it or pushing it or, trying to write hard to get it to show up, all that pain went away. And I'm like, well, you little snot. You helped me, but...
But he didn't believe you.
He did not believe me, no.
Oh, that's
funny.
So
I guess they could be, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Diana wants to know if you're sick.
I am not sick.
No.
I am feeling better than I have felt in a long, long time. A lot of people think I'm sick because I'm losing weight. And honestly, I think when you travel, like I travel, you eat fast food 3 times a day.
It's true.
And having to stay home, having to be forced to be home with COVID, just really gave me that chance to take care of myself. And I walk a 5K every day, my friend and I say, so it's 3 miles. And so we walk about 3.5 or 4.5 miles every day. And I'm also, the key to losing weight, we all know the key. The key is eating way, way, way less.
Yeah,
and
eating
so
better.
I just actually eat better, and I eat way less. Like Ron and I started sharing meals. We did the intermittent fasting, where you stop eating at 6 at night and you don't eat again till 10 or 11 in the morning. And so, we did that, we do that, and we just eat way better. We're kind of eating, like for dinner time, we'll have, a protein and a vegetable, and it's always enough, and we feel great. And so I'm really focusing on that. Now, interestingly enough, this was the weight I always was when we lived in California. So my children are like, oh, there's our old mom, but when we moved to the Midwest, it just threw everything up. First, I lost my walking partner. I was walking 5 miles a day then. I lost my walking partner, and the food is completely different here.
It's true.
The weather is completely different here. So it was too hot, too cold, too many bugs, Let's have biscuits and gravy again.
Yes.
It's just like a kind of a different way. And so you have to really make an effort, much more of an effort here.
Yeah.
I feel like. For me, that was the way it was.
It definitely requires more focus, for
also,
sure.
I think when you get used to just being a thinner person, you don't think about it. And so when I came here, it took me a while to realize that it wasn't just going to fall off, And, of course, I'm getting older, and so it falls off even less. So, I'm not sick. I'm great.
Yes,
Feeling super good.
She's doing awesome. All right, let's see. Ooh, this is kind of perfect timing. Phyllis wants to know if she actually says, can y'all do a bookcase quilt?
We're filming this week.
Yes, and there just might be something coming.
There just might be something book review-ish.
It's just adorable.
It's so cute. So the things we filmed this week come out when, Misty? Like
October, November.
October, November.
So it's going to be a minute.
It's going to be a ways, but I have so many of us are readers.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to do one forever, but I just had to come up with a way that made sense in my brain and was quick and easy.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done for you. So watch for that.
It's so exciting.
Gonna do this bookcase.
I love it.
Oh, we might do this, but
maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything.
It's definitely happening.
Okay. It says mine is the username. Wants to know what is the best way to get your Sojo back.
Oh, you know what? If you lose your Sojo, this is actually kind of an interesting question. So one of the fun things to do, I read a book about this. It's called Big Magic.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Wonderful creative book. I'm reading another book right now called Creative Calling. It's by Chase Jarvis. And those kind of things will get your Sojo going. But also, I think creating out of your element. So like I will watercolor or if like Natalie, Misty, and I, Sarah, and Hillary, if we go on a Doan Girls retreat, just our own personal retreat, we'll take a class in something we don't do. So we'll take a pottery class.
Different, yeah.
Jewelry class. Whatever it is, glass blowing. We'll take a class because it's creative, but it's like, oh my gosh, it gets all those juices flowing again.
Well, and I also think since we teach so often, it's really good for us to take a moment and learn something new too.
Right.
It kind of refreshes your soul.
Yeah, and I also think that when you go to quilt shops or quilt shows or quilt festivals, and you walk through, you may not have sewn for years, and you'll walk through and you'll look at something and you'll just be like, that is cool.
Yeah.
And you'll think about, maybe I'm going to make that. Also, I love the idea of, because I sew a lot for Missouri Star, so it means I sew on fabric that I haven't chosen, and it is patterns that I come up with a pattern for the thing, but it's not necessarily, it might not be what I'm really thinking about at the time, because most of us like I just made some quilts while I was off this month for my grandsons, and I made some quilts for a son-in-law, and things like that, and we usually make quilts and buy fabric for the people we're making the gift for, and so a lot of times it's not what I want to do. So in the morning, first thing, I will sew. Victoria Finley Wolf put out a book called 15 Minutes of Play, and it's where you just sew tiny pieces of fabric together. I call it crumb sewing, until it gets to be a certain size piece, and then I put my square on there and square it up, or whatever template, whatever you're making, and just make that fabric. And so I'll do that. I also have little houses I work on, little birds I work on, just little things that I like to make that fill me up. Yeah. So I think if you do that as well, make sure that your bucket is full so you can keep
filling others.
Yeah. Because that's what we do with quilting. Rarely is everything we're making. I mean, in the beginning, it's all for us.
Yeah.
But very soon after that, you start making things for other things and other people and that sort of thing. So that's kind of how I get my Sojo back.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's important to remember that having a creative hobby, even if it is just a hobby and it's not your career, is valid and important. It's a crucial part of your life.
It is crucial.
Yeah.
It is crucial.
And so make it a priority because it's worthwhile.
And what is it? There's not creative people and non-creative people. There's just people that create and people that don't create. We're all creative in some way or another. I think my husband is very creative in the way he loads the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Are you guys having the dishwasher battles? Yeah. I gave it up because you know what? He's doing the dishes, for Pete's sake.
Kidding.
And if he wants to stack the forks going a certain way and the glasses have to be in a certain spot, I'm okay.
I understand Ron so much.
And I'm like, here's a wad of this, throw it in the dishwasher, and Ron will rearrange everything. Yeah. We're all creative in our own ways.
Well, we're getting close to time, but we have a couple more questions. I know it goes by so fast.
All right.
Pam wants to know, what is a triple play?
Triple play is what we do the third week of the month. There's 3 of us, Natalie, Misty, and I. We take one block and we all put our own take on it. And so it's super creative.
Fun.
And so if you look on our app, we have an app. It's free. You can go download it for free, and it lists all the tutorials. And if you put triple play in there, all the triple plays that we've done will come up on that app. And so it's like if we do an Ohio Star, it's 3 new ideas on the Ohio Star. If we do a Dresden, it's 3 new ideas on the Dresden.
Yeah.
So it's really, really fun, super creative for us. And so lots of people love the triple play, and I think you will too.
Yeah, we love doing it.
We do love doing it.
Okay, let's take a couple
I'd like
more.
to do a double play, a triple play.
Yeah, seriously.
And a home run.
Okay, Brenda's asking, she says, Jenny and Misty, I always have wavy borders. Can you explain how you add borders?
Yes, so most people add borders to their quilts without measuring the quilt. You can do that if you're experienced quilter and you know what to look for. Here's a couple of tips. Normally you're going to measure the sides of your quilts, and you're going to measure the middle of your quilt, and you're going to take an average. Like if this one is 73 and this one is 74 and this one is 72 and a half, you're going to try to get them all to be about 73, and you're going to cut your pieces, and you're going to make your pieces fit your sides and your bottom and top, and you'll pin in the middle, you'll pin on the ends. And then if you have a part that is bigger than your border piece, put that bigger piece to the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just going to sew your border pieces together and sew them on, you never, ever, ever put that border piece on the bottom. You put your quilt on the bottom and your border piece on the top, because the feed dog will take in more fabric. And if your border piece is on the bottom, it will take in that more fabric, and that's what makes your borders wavy. So put your quilt down, put your border on top, and don't pull it, but keep a nice, firm, hold on that top border so that it lets the bottom slide through and it attaches the top, and your borders will not be as wavy. And it takes a little practice. It's a learned skill. That's how I do it, because it's easier for me than measuring. But I've been doing it for like 40 years. So, and if it's wavy, take it off and put that border piece on the top and sew it again. Because if you send a wavy border to a long armor, she's either going to have to take it off and redo it herself, which she may or may not do, or it's going to have folds in it. Yeah. So you don't want that. So so just try really hard to make it lay flat on the floor.
And I really do find that even just making sure your border is on top makes a huge difference 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight with it too much. All right, let's see. A couple more questions. How do you continue your quilting education on the job, seminar, colleagues? How do you make time?
So for me, I have a certain type of quilter that is attracted to what I do, and so I kind of keep doing what I do, but that's part of keeping your Sojo. So I also have this buddy I sew with on Tuesday nights, and she chooses what we're going to sew, and it's never Jenny Don't Easy. It's always something that makes my brain work. And a lot of times my brain will say, I'm not sure why they're doing it this way, because this way is so much harder. But in doing that, it expands your brain thought, you know. And so, like, I'm doing one of Edida's block of the months. I'm doing a Corey Yoder block of the month right now. And so they all sew differently, and it just causes you to keep your brain. So we do that. I do also take classes. Like, we're teaching at Garden of Quilts. In September, we're doing a triple play class, and we're doing a triple play trunk show, and I signed up to take a class from Amy Smart because it's the cutest little tree class, and Misty and Natalie are taking a pincushion class that is a Heather Bailey class.
Exactly.
And so we love to take classes, and like if somebody is coming to our retreat center here, we'll be like, can we just get in on an afternoon class with her and come and sit in and listen? And so it is just, it's important to keep your brain thinking and going. So we do that.
Absolutely. Well, we are at time.
But just one more.
One more question.
One more.
All right.
Just one more.
One more. Let's see.
We'll be at 1 hour plus. Well, it'll take me 45 minutes to answer any question that you ask. No, I'm just kidding. I try not to talk so much, but, you know.
Do you have a quilt pattern that you've made more than once? I'm sure there's quite a few.
Yes, I do, because my children walk in and go, oh, Mom, I love that.
It's true.
You know, so I do have some of those. And some of them are ones are mine, and some of them aren't. But like one of them that I've made several times is the Snowflake quilt by Maker Valley. And the pixelated, and also the flag quilt. I bet I've made that 4 or 5 times as well. So those easy ones I tend to
go back to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, this has been so fun. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Tuesday with us.
Watch for my book.
Yeah, just to reiterate, you can pre-order Jenny's book, How to Stitch an American Dream, now through all major retailers. And remember, if you do pre-order, you get that 20% off coupon for machine quilting services from us
so excited
here
about that.
at Missouri Star. So we're super excited. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful week.
Have a good week, you guys. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye, everybody.